Hello, Pisces. Welcome to your birthday reading. This is going to cover birthday 2025 to birthday 2026. This is going to be 3 blessings coming to you for your birthday year. Today we are using a very special deck of cards that I have reserved just to use on you first, at least publicly. And we're going to be doing an actual pick a deck. So I'm going to shuffle these up, break it into 3 decks, and I will be right back. Okay, so here we have group number 1, group number 2, and group number 3. Use your intuition, pick a group. Timestamps will be in the comments section, and I will see each of you on the other side. Hello, Pisces, or more accurately, group 1. First and foremost, I'd like to wish you a happy birthday. Glancing at your cards, you have pulled 2 of the bonus cards in this deck, and I don't know if you watched me shuffle the cards, but this deck and these cards are enormous, but the deck itself is also very large. I'm very excited to be using these on camera. Now, you have chosen this bonus card. It's almost death card-esque, right? But except instead of death riding the horse, this is you riding the horse. And a red flag is a sign of danger, but I have to tell you, you're the one that's carrying this flag, and you're carrying it very bravely into a situation. In other words, you're saying, watch out, world, right? And I like that. I like that, definitely, right? He is sort of like a hero. And in one hand, I don't know if you can see this, but he's carrying a spear, right? And attached to the spear, you do have a flag. Now, the spear is something that in this deck that really doesn't exist. So it's not present in a classic tarot deck. It's really not present much in this deck. This gives you an unexpected tool in your arsenal, and you move forward, right? And there's a crimson sky in back of you, and the color is transitory, and the person depicted is resolute, right? Let's see how you got here. And here you have planning. You have the planning card. It says, now is the time to lay down the foundations for your future. Financial gains are more than likely. Very nice energy here. Now we'll get to this card in a minute, but here are your tarot cards down here. You have the Ten of Swords. You have the Eight of Swords here in reverse. And the Eight of Swords is Jupiter in Gemini energy. It's a release of any prior self-limiting beliefs or situations that may have plagued you in 2024. Could be situations, could be your mindset, could be both, but it is now being released. You're feeling a sense of freedom with this card here in reverse. And it's definitely projected onto this card. I mean, there's nothing more free than that. Carrying a red flag and telling the world, watch out. Here I come. I really like that energy. If you're coming from a place where you felt very limited, that is going to be in your past. The next card up here is the Ten of Swords in reverse. And the Ten of Swords in reverse is Mercury in Gemini energy. And the Mercury in Gemini energy, I mean, it's whatever happened prior to this in 2024 is no longer a stumbling block for you. You're healed. You picked yourself up. I don't know if you're healing from someone stabbing you in the back, or from a pain, or from a failure of some kind, because that Ten of Swords doesn't have to be someone else. It could be you stabbing yourself, being very down on yourself, being very down on your progress, but it is in reverse, right? You're facing forward. And so far, all the cards that we've picked up are working in unison. You have here, wow, I'm just noticing all this Gemini energy, but we'll get to that in a second. So you have here the lovers in reverse, and the lovers in reverse, especially in this particular column, I mean, it's definitely a choice. But being that it's in reverse, I'm really thinking that there's going to be more decisions that need to be made. But you have begun, right? You've taken off for sure. You're on your way. You're planning something. And it's almost like you feel unstoppable. All right. Now, as far as this Gemini card, so far, every single card, with the exception of this, because there's no astrological correspondence, every card here has Gemini on it. All right. I don't know whether you're dealing with a Gemini, whether you have Gemini highly aspected in your chart. If neither of those things are true, I use this as a timing card, this particular card, right? When you look at Gemini in general, and it's very strange to get one sign on every card. So it's meaningful here. Gemini asks you to try new things, to release the expectation of a certain outcome. I think the outcome is going to be different from what you expect, but better. Approach topics, approach things that are going to be happening with curiosity and a fresh, open mind, the way a Gemini would. Now, Gemini season is May and June. And as far as timing goes, there's just no doubt there is something that's going to be happening here in May and June. It's crystal clear, right? You could also look at the Mercury retrograde dates, right? Which is March, April 2025, July, August 2025, and November, the full month. Also in February, March of 2026. Those are all retrograde dates. And that is sort of like, an honorable mention. I really think you should be looking towards Gemini season. All right. There is something going on here for Gemini season. When we look at your witch's rune here, you have the three. Let me see if I can focus that so you can see. You have the three rings. And the rings rune is forming connections and partnerships, or making these connections that make your plans take shape. There is a team, a coming together of two things to create something else. So, I mean, it could be you coming together with a partner. It could be you coming together with a web designer. It could be you coming together with a publisher. There is something going on where two people, two entities are coming together for planning purposes, because we saw the planning card very clearly here. Your letters are Z, Q, and O. And it could be anything. And you really should write these down, especially put it in your phone for the May-June timeframe, because it could be a restaurant, it could be someone's initials, it could be a state, it could be a company, it could be the title of a book, it could be a location, it could be literally anything. Now, the timing recap, we don't need to state it too many times, is May-June. May-June, very important for this, okay? And so let's move on to your second blessing. And it honestly looks like these three and this doesn't happen very often in these readings, but it looks like these three blessings are building on one another. Okay. Very, very goal rich, very, very money, goal, career, something like that here, Pisces. So in your second blessing here, you got another bonus card. This is a very fascinating one. Very fascinating one. So look at this. Hopefully that focuses for you. Our hero is holding a caduceus in one hand, right? And a vessel in the other. And when we look at this, we have two bonus cards in it. In my opinion, that indicates luck and bonus help on your journey. But aside from that, it seems like for many of you, it's a continuity, it's a continuation of a goal that's growing and taking shape in directions you may not have predicted. Sometimes when we start out on a path and we think, okay, I'm going for this, something else pops up and you're like, wow, this is a new opportunity stemming from this. And it's actually even bigger and better. So it seems like something is building here. So on this card, the caduceus represents alchemy and messages incoming, since this is also the staff of Hermes, who is the Greek messenger of the gods. Now, the vessel in this deck is a deeper knowledge of something in order to achieve something higher than you had originally planned. Just what we just said, right? Or perhaps a new goal that opens from something you already are working on, like we said. You do have Mercury here, and that sort of goes with that Hermes, that communication, that message. But let's get to that in a minute. You do have the Death card, and that's very Death card-esque. I mean, look, it's very similar, right? Except instead of death on the horse, it was you riding that horse. So you have the Death card here, and you know, if you've watched any tarot, you already know that it's significant transformation. It's necessary change. It's an ending of one life phase to make room for something brand new. Um, Next up, you have the Nine of Pentacles. I mean, man, this is really good energy. And I'm really glad I do the shuffling and the laying out on camera so you can go back and watch. I didn't choose these cards, they chose you. It's prosperity, it's independence, it's freedom, it's stability, it is achievement. It's Venus in Virgo energy. Now, here you have the star coming in sideways, right? And the star is Aquarius energy. But, you know, more than that, coming in sideways like that, it is some sort of a choice. This will culminate, all of this stuff will culminate in a decision that you have to make to level up once more. I'm telling you, that is the message here. And wishes coming true, decisions that need to be made, avenues that open up that you were not expecting, okay, from perhaps a goal that was already there, if that makes sense to you. Now, let me see if I can show you the Mercury card. The Mercury card is very similar, obviously, to Gemini, right? Gemini is ruled by Mercury. So once again, we have that May-June timing. And Mercury, the planet of Mercury, is messages coming in, communication, clarity, broad thinking. Also, Mercury rules Virgo, so you could be looking at an August-September time frame, right? Look at the Mercury retrograde dates that we talked about, right? Virgo, Mercury retrograde in Virgo, Mercury retrograde in Gemini, Mercury retrograde in Scorpio, and in Aquarius in 2026. Write those dates down. It seems to be over and over again here coming up for you, for sure. So let's look at your charms. You have the moon. And the moon is definitely Cancerian energy here. But, you know, more than that, it is receiving messages from a female, or perhaps you're using your own gut to guide you to the next step. It could be either of those things because the moon guides intuition as well. But there could be a female involved in this somehow. Actually, it's coming up twice, but I am jumping ahead a little bit. Your letters here are A, J, V, and Y, and all the same things. Keep an open mind, write the letters down. It could be a street. It could be literally anything. But, you know, when you look at the J, could it be January or July? Sure, it could be a month too. When you look at the A, could it be Aquarius? Absolutely. When you look at the V, it could be Virgo. I mean, and so on and so on. So definitely keep all this under your hat. Let's do the recap real quick as far as timing. You have the Gemini timing, you have Virgo timing, you have Scorpio timing, Aquarius timing, and the honorable mention here would be Cancer, June, July timing. Okay, it really looks to me like you have a goal that blossoms into something completely unexpected here, Pisces. Okay, when we move on to your third leg or your third blessing, honestly, it's supposed to be 3 blessings, but I have to tell you, I do think one is feeding off another because you have the planning phase, you have this and that. Now you have this, which is work. I mean, look, this is the 10 of Wands, right? But don't forget, this is a reading denoting what blessings are headed towards you in your birthday year. And that's Saturn and Sagittarius energy and its responsibility. And with that star card, right, you have made a decision and there is a new branch being added to your goals and there is some heavy lifting required. But it's a welcome challenge. It's a welcome challenge to a project that could be new and could be leveling up. It requires perseverance, which it looks like you have. You are exploring an untapped part of your own potential with this card. Now, you also have sunshine here, and it says, the sun is shining on your career and business growth. And I have to tell you, not all these readings are about business and money and goals, but damn, this is like really heavy with them. It says fabulous communication. Here we go. Definitely there is that Mercury energy. And, you know, when I see the sunshine card, I always look at Leo. I look at like that Leo energy, right? You have Uranus here. But let's start at the top, okay? You have the Three of Swords here in reverse. And as we know, the Three of Swords is a card of pain. But, this is in reverse. And in my opinion, with the Saturn and Libra energy, it is letting go of the last remnants of that Ten of Swords energy, refusing to look back, embracing optimism, finishing that, whatever it is you're healing from, whether it is your own thoughts or it's somebody's actions towards you or it is a past failure. This is the last remnants of that healing, okay? You have next up, I mean, it gets better and better. You have the Wheel of Fortune, right? And that is, that Jupiter energy. It's definitely fixed energy, that Aquarius, Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, but it's Jupiter, right? It's that optimism. And the Wheel of Fortune is significant life changes. It is a cycle of luck. It is a new opportunity. Wow. Really nice energy here, Pisces. Now for your last card, you have the Page of Wands. And that makes so much sense because if you are, hopefully that'll, I don't know if that, I think it did it? Hopefully that focused. Sometimes these cameras go out of focus for no particular reason. But you have here, and I do think it needs refocusing. Hopefully that did it. If it didn't, I promise it will focus at some point. But you have the Page of Wands, and this is Jupiter, more Jupiter energy in Sagittarius. And the Page of Wands is something new, right? So you are leveling up, and this did branch off into something new. And that Page of Wands energy is inspiration, it's growth, it's a brand new start to a branch project, okay? Beautiful energy here, for sure. Now let's look at your timing, because you did pull this Uranus card. And, with Uranus, hopefully that focuses. God, I hate when it's out of focus. Absolutely hate it. Hold on one second. Let me see if I could focus this. And it focused right away as soon as I turned the camera off. Okay, so you have the Uranus card. And Uranus is obviously Aquarius energy. January, February 2026 is the timing. Or Uranus retrograde. And Uranus retrograde is from September to February. So September 2025 to February 2026, you could see a lot of action, especially on this brand new thing that's going to develop from your original plan. And don't forget, Uranus is the breakthrough planet, right? So all of this is sort of lining up for you here, Pisces. Now, as far as your rune goes, you have the woman's rune, right? So here is the second indication that there is a woman involved in this, right? So if you are not a woman, there's a woman involved in this somehow, and somehow it's going to come to fruition through a woman, somehow, some way. It could represent a literal woman for sure. And in my opinion, I think it really does. But think about this too. You are birthing something into existence here. So in that way, it is very feminine energy. So there's that too. You have W and S here. And like I said, just keep an open mind, state, location, building, website, name, could be a woman's name. Keep an open mind with these letters. Now, as far as timing recap goes, you're looking at Aquarius, January, February 2026, the Uranus retrograde from September to February, Libra time, which is September, October, Sagittarius time, which is November, December. So if you look at that, September to February is covered in all those dates. The honorable mentions are April, May, Taurus, Leo time, July, August, and Scorpio, October, November. You are leveling up. I mean, it's beyond leveling up. You're starting off in a direction, planning something, and you have no idea where it's going to lead, even if you think you do. The idea of you getting on this horse and just going is the important part, because you're going to be led to a direction that you can't imagine. It's going to end up in a place that you can't imagine. You have planning, opportunities, and sunshine. And you watched me shuffle the cards. And this is an enormous freaking deck. So the possibilities are endless. I really wish you a lot of luck, Pisces. It doesn't look like you really need it, but keep an open mind. And don't forget, you are the red flag. Watch out, world. Here I come. Happy birthday. Hello, Group 2. First and foremost, I'd like to wish you a very happy birthday. Okay, let's get started right away. You have pulled the Nine of Pentacles for your first blessing. And like the traditional Nine of Pentacles in every other deck, this is Venus and Virgo energy. This particular card is only available with the collector's deck. There are two different ones in general in this giant deck that we're working with today. So it's a bonus card of sorts. So I'm thinking this does represent prosperity, reward, self-sufficiency, appreciation of all the things you've attained as she's reaching out to touch one of her pentacles. But this might be earned in a way that is non-traditional, or at the very least, it might be something that you didn't set out to do. It might be something that's even off the beaten track for you. It is an opportunity because it comes with the opportunity card, and it says an important offer will be made. Be prepared to dress to impress. So there is an opportunity to make money and an opportunity to be successful here on the table. You have the Magician card coming in sideways. And, you know, the Magician card is Mercury energy, right? And that's Gemini, Virgo energy. Could be Aquarius. I mean, it depends on who you ask and what book you read, right? The Magician is personal power. It's manifestation. It's access to something more. Yeah, it's access to something more than you have now. But this is a choice you're going to have to make. You're going to be presented with a choice here. We're going to have a period of time for timing, okay? But you're going to be presented with a choice. Do you want to do this? Do you not? It might be a little bit different from what you're used to doing for money. So keep that in mind. You do have the Five of Swords here in reverse, and the Five of Swords in reverse is Uranus in Aquarius energy, and in reverse, it's moving forward, overcoming challenges. It's successfully dealing with difficult people too. You know, putting down that sword and doing things in a more diplomatic way. If you had problems with someone in the past, those problems are either over or you're learning to deal with them in a way that's different. You have the Queen of Swords here, and it's really no surprise. I mean, if you are learning to deal with someone differently or people differently in general, the Queen of Swords is the perfect archetype, whether you're male or female. This is Uranus and Libra energy, and the Queen of Swords, she has her power through the lessons that she has learned. She's a little different from the King, right? She does the work to live authentically. She communicates very, very clearly. She has tenacity and courage, for sure. Remember that person? I don't know if you know tarot or not, but if you watch tarot, you know the person in the Six of Swords imagery where someone's getting in the boat and they have a bag with them and it's a female, right? And it's the Six of Swords. It's going from turbulent waters to more peaceful waters. It's attaining some level of peace and going to a better place, right? Yeah. She was moving from one land with a sack in that boat, and that sack was representative of lessons that she has learned that she's taking with her. And you have to look at our queen like she is that same person years later, right? She has attained her success. She has, you know, picked up her sword of truth, and she is very grounded, and she's also very nurturing, even with that sword in her hand. So she is strong, wise, and self-aware, and I think this is the energy that you're moving into with this. I have to admit, this is very different energy. It feels different, right? You also have Saturn here. And when we look at the Saturn energy, right, Saturn could be Capricorn or Aquarius energy. And it is the planet of work, responsibility, and rewards if the rewards are earned. And obviously, you have earned something here. We'll talk about timing later, but there is a Saturn retrograde from July to November 2025, so that might be relevant for you. We also have the male ruin here. It's a witch's ruin, by the way, and it's ruled by like Aries, Mars, and this ruin can represent things happening very fast. And it could also mean, it could be both, that you're approaching this in a very confident way. You've learned things, you've learned your lessons, you have life experience, and you're bringing it to the table. I really like that. Now, as far as your letters, you have W, A, and B, and these letters could represent, like I always say, a place, a park, it could be someone's initials, it could be a building, it could be a job, it could be a website. Keep a very open mind with this. You can write them down, especially you can put them in your phone and your calendar for the time frame we're going to discuss now. Now, as far as like dates, we have Virgo time, which is August and September. We have Gemini time, which is May, June. We have Aquarius time, which is January, February 2026. So this kind of reaches into that time period. We have Libra, which is September, October. We have Aries, which is March, April. And we have Capricorn, which is December, January. And to recap a little, we have March through June, August through October, and December 2025 through February 2026. And obviously it's going to be different for all of you, but those dates are going to be very relevant when it comes to this blessing. And it is the blessing of independence, it's the blessing of success, and it is the blessing of opportunity that you are going to grab with both hands. Okay, so as we move on to your second blessing, we have the Lovers. And in this deck, the Lovers is pretty interesting, isn't it? It's a work, these cards are they're works of art. Now, this is Gemini energy, and it is sort of being unchained from any family, social, or group restrictions. If you felt restricted before, if you felt like something was just out of your reach, you are free to explore or develop a relationship with who you wish. It's an indicator, it is definitely an indicator of romance. And I have to tell you, for one of you, so don't take this and run with it and think it's for everyone. It is for one person out there. For one of you, it is a love triangle. And there may be a choice to make, or perhaps, because this is a blessings reading, one will be made in your favor. It could be a little bit of a forbidden fruit type situation, but that is just for one of you, okay? It is an achievement in the area of romance. You have achievement right here, and it says enjoy the limelight. You've earned it, right? And it says, yeah, definitely. This is going to be a fairly sexual time. I mean, I don't want to get too graphic, but it looks very interesting here for you. So you have to start off, and this kind of goes with what we said. You have the Hierophant here in reverse, and the Hierophant is Taurus energy. And the Hierophant, like the above card, right? It's a sense of freedom. It is being unchained from that Pope and his restrictions. You have a green light in regards to a relationship. And this could be a non-traditional type of relationship. It could be. But it could be the type of relation, regardless whether it is or not. It is something that there are people in your life may not agree with. But you are unrestricting yourself in that way from them. You also have the Two of Pentacles. And as you can see, the Two of Pentacles clearly has that infinity symbol. And I can't help but be very drawn to it, right? And the Two of Pentacles is Jupiter and Capricorn energy. It is a relationship, at least in this particular reading, it's a relationship that has ties to a past life. That infinity symbol, it is something that recurs. It's something, now it could be that this is an old relationship coming back. It is an old relationship coming back, but it's either from this life or a previous life. But you have a connection from the past together, and you are repeating something with this person. And here it is, you have the Eight of Cups in reverse. And man, the Eight of Cups in reverse is Saturn and Pisces energy, and the end result here is staying. You're staying where you are. You're not leaving. You're being either chosen or you're choosing to stay. You're winning. You're not moving forward alone. This is a card of giving up and moving forward alone, and it came in reverse. So, fascinating reading. I mean, definitely interesting. Now, what's even more interesting here, sorry, I had a doggy emergency. So you have the female witch's rune here, and it goes exactly with the male. I mean, you have two counterparts coming together, and that's whether you're in a same-sex relationship or not. You have two opposites, two puzzle pieces coming together to form one thing. I really like that. You have the letters E, R, J, F, and O. And like I always say, it could be anything. It could be a restaurant you meet at. It could be the name of a street. It could be someone's initials. It could be anything. So keep those in mind, okay? Now, as far as you do have the sign of Virgo here, and Virgo is could be the sign that you are actually dealing with right now, for sure. Could be someone you're dealing with. Normally, I don't say that. Normally, I take these cards as strictly as timing cards, and certainly it could be that. But I really think that for at least one or two of you, you might be dealing with a Virgo. Yeah, this is definitely an interesting situation. Very interesting energy. Very interesting energy. Okay, so let's move on to your last blessing. So to start off with, you have the Crossroads cards, and this is a I'm not going to say bonus card. It's in the expansion deck, right? It's an expansion deck for this giant deck, right? So in a way, it is kind of like a bonus card. And what is the Crossroads energy? It is taking the time to pause, to reflect, and to focus. Shift your focus when this happens to what could be instead of what happened in the past. What could be for me? Because you do have a wish coming true here with the star, and this is definitely Aquarius energy. You have the letters M, N, K, and D. And like I said, all those things that I said about the letters, they apply here as well. You have commitment. So it says a commitment is indicated around love or business, and I really think this is love. It will make you feel better. And for sure, I do think that there is a commitment that stems from this situation for you in your birthday year. Let's look at these cards here. You have, yeah, the end of worry. You have like the Nine of Swords in reverse, the end of fear, the end of anxiety, the end of depression, whatever negativity the Nine of Swords might have brought you in 2024, it is now over. It is Mercury and Gemini energy. You have the Sword of Truth in the upright, and I really love that for you. That is straight up air energy, but you know, more than that, it is crystal clear thinking, truth, right? And finally, you have the Chariot in reverse, and this is Cancer energy. But like this card, very similar. You're not going anywhere. You're not going anywhere. You're not moving forward alone. You're staying put with this person. At the end result is staying put with this person. And, of course, to top it off, you have Venus energy. Yay. Yeah. This is definitely a love situation, and you're going to get a commitment out of this. I really believe that. And as far as Venus energy, I really think that for many of you, this might be something that's coming back. In fact, I'm positive of it. And like I said, it's either something that recurred from a past life together, a link that you had, or it is something that you have been through in this lifetime together. We have a Venus retrograde coming in March and April of between March and April of 2025. So keep that under your hat. I mean, it very well might be around that time. Now, as far as timing cards go, we have Gemini time, which is May, June. We have Cancer time, which is June, July. We have Libra time, which is September, October. Aquarian time in 2026. And we have Taurus time, April, May. So to break that down, we have April through July. We have September and October. And we have January and February 2026. So definitely, bottom line, you have opportunities here for business that you might have to think outside your box when it comes to certain opportunities that are going to be presented to you. You might end up in a situation that you never even thought about, but it's going to be very lucrative, and it's going to give you very independently successful energy, and that's really nice energy. I really like everything to do with this. This is a very erotic situation. It is. It's hot, it's erotic, it's special, and it is something that is going to lead to a commitment. So if this is not what you were looking for, you could always choose another group, but I have to tell you exactly what is on the table here. And what's on the table here as far as your year is some kind of success in a way that you weren't prepared for, and a very unique relationship that you're going to be very happy with, that you're going to get an actual commitment out of by the time the smoke clears. I wish you all the best, and I will see you next time. Hello, Group 3. Welcome to your birthday reading. My name is Nigel, as you know, and this is Alchemy. First and foremost, I want to wish you a very happy birthday. So let's get started right away. You do have here the High Priestess. And as we know, and as you probably know, this is one of your cards. And the interesting thing is, in this particular deck, and I don't know if you noticed, but the deck I'm using, huge. There's expansion cards, there's bonus cards, there's double cards, there's an additional small deck that's thrown in. I mean, I got the super duper type thing, right? So here it is. This particular High Priestess is an expansion card, and it's a bonus card. It's not the only version of the High Priestess. And we know that, when she uses her intuition, as you can tell, she is holding the third eye in her hand. And being it's an expansion card, it is very expansive energy for you. It's going to bring you into a version of yourself that is sort of here, right? Something that you may not have known existed inside you, but I assure you it does. It exists there already. You have something that says, let me grab my glasses because it's very difficult for me to see. You have something, it says assert yourself. Let me see if this focuses. I'm not really sure why this isn't focusing, but it will focus, I assure you. It says assert yourself. Go for what you want. The time is ripe. For soulmate connections, birth of a child is also likely. So for those of you who want to have a child, or for those of you who are trying to have a child, or for those of you, there you go, it focused, or for those of you that are of the age to have a child, that this is a very good omen for you. But it does say, go for what you want. The time is ripe. And the time is ripe for something here. The time is ripe for something very, very special. Let's just keep going, and we'll, the birth of a child could also indicate the birth of an enterprise, something that you birth into existence. Could be a soulmate connection as well, because soulmate is mentioned there. So let's just keep going. You have here the Devil in reverse. And we know that the devil is Capricorn energy, and it's a liberation, right? It is in reverse, it is a liberation card, liberation from something. It could be someone. You could be liberating yourself from an addiction. An addiction can take many forms. It doesn't have to be a heavy drug or drinking addiction. It could be any kind of habit that you have that is deterring you from your highest good. So it could be liberation from an addiction. It could be liberation from a relationship that is oppressive to you or emotionally cancerous in some way. Now that could be family. It could be a family member. It could be a friend group. It could be a job, honestly, with the same qualities that we're talking about. Or obviously it could be a relationship you have with a lover that you are liberating yourself from. And this is a blessing. Okay, make no mistake, you do have here the Ace of Pentacles in reverse, and the Ace of Pentacles is straight up Earth energy. But in reverse, especially as a blessing, it is letting go of a material attachment, so you could pursue something new. You are letting go of something because you can clearly see this hand holding on to something, right? And in reverse, that hand is letting go of something. And you could be taking a pause to make a more informed decision about your finances, your goals. This could also be letting go of worries that are money related. Now, if this is a relationship that revolves around money, you could be definitely, there's indications that you could be letting go of that as well. The Devil in reverse with this card is a positive change for the better. Absolutely. And it's more of a mindset thing, because once your mind is ripe and free from those shackles, you are free to pursue something else. Now, what that something else is, we don't know yet. But as you can tell by your last card, I mean, I told you that hand is letting go of something. It's letting it drop. And here you have something new in your hand, something young. And when I say young, I mean it's young, it's brand new. It's a brand new energy. And what did I say? You might be letting go of something in lieu of something else, a brand new opportunity, a promising avenue for financial growth. You're letting go of something toxic here. I hate using the word toxic. It's a difficult thing not to use in this situation. You're letting go of something that was not for your highest good, and you're grabbing hold of something brand new. Love that for you, okay? Before we get into this, I'm going to look at your charms here. You do have the Eye, and this is a witch's ruin when it comes to, wow, it really does go with this card, okay? The eye ruin indicates becoming conscious and aware, that third eye energy that we talked about. You have the eye, I mean, something's opening up. You're starting to see something. You know how sometimes when you're in a situation and you're so bogged down by this negative energy, sometimes you feel trapped. Sometimes you feel like so oppressed that you can't make the right decisions. And this blessing is allowing you to open that eye, open that third eye, and let you see very clearly what you should do. And suddenly it's easy. Suddenly you're like, wow, this is a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. And it's going to open doors for you. You have the letter R, the letter M as in Mary, and the letter E. And all three of them could be anything, right? It could be someone's initials. It could be a place. It could be a state. It could be a city. It could be the name of a building, the name of a restaurant. Keep this in mind as you go about this situation, because it's going to pan out one way or the other as far as these as far as this blessing goes. Now, you also pulled Mercury, and I'm pulling these cards generally speaking for timing purposes, but there's not a period at the end of that sentence, because when we look at Mercury energy, it is the mind becoming very sharp, very aware, very communicative to you. That third eye is communicative to you. Mercury is also a Wednesday energy. So you could look for very good luck in this situation on a Wednesday. Now, as far as timing goes, let's look at the full timing effect here. We have Taurus time, which is April, May. We have Capricorn time, which is December, January. As a side note, to a lesser degree, but still relevant, you have August, September, which is Virgo, and you have May, June, which is Gemini. So in summary, you have April through June and December 2025 to January 2026. So those dates are going to be important in this particular thing that's going to happen. And definitely look for some sort of Wednesday to be relevant for you here, Pisces. Okay, so like as we move through this and go to your second blessing, we have something called the Seven of Vessels in this particular deck. Now, the Seven of Vessels, the vessels in this group, in this tarot card menagerie that we have going on, vessels encompass all four elements. They're put together in a vessel, and they're alchemized into a brand new suit. So you have the Seven of Vessels, and it's what this is the integration of your authentic feelings. And it's not a moment of confusion, but it's sort of like perseverance. Your trajectory is very unique, and your manifestation sort of dissipates and cuts through any fog or ignorance that anyone might come across, honestly, in their journey, or obstinacy, right? It's going to cut through it much like a sword, because don't forget the sword is involved in the vessel. Definitely, it's self-transmutation, and it lets the light into your authentic feelings. There is an authenticity in this reading that is surfacing, something that you may have repressed, something that you may not know is there, something that your environment may have repressed, but there is something coming to light, and there is something definitely being born, and it's being born straight from you, and it's opening doors. All right, it will open doors for you, right? You have achievement here. And it does indicate some sort of limelight. So you may be in the limelight, and the limelight can mean many things. It could be attention that you're getting at work, attention that you're getting with a project, like if you're opening a new website, if you're writing, I mean, anything. Literally, it could be anything. It's going to be different for each Pisces. But there is some level of achievement, and there is some level of attention that comes with this card. Now, starting off here, you have the Page of Wands. And so you have these two pages, which is new starts, right? You have the Page of Wands, and this is Jupiter and Sagittarius energy. Following your dreams, fresh, exciting ideas, eagerness. And this leads to, look at this. This leads straight into the Ten of Pentacles. Whatever idea you have here, whatever idea that comes to you is going to be very lucrative. And it's not lucrative where you're going to get this giant payday and then it's going to be over. You know, the Ten of Pentacles does denote long-term assets, long-term success. It's Mercury and Virgo energy, long-term stability, permanent fruit that grows on trees, permanent fruit. This leads into what's interesting here is you do have the world here in reverse. So as we know, the world is closing out a cycle. You're not closing out the cycle anytime soon. This is a really good cycle to be stuck in, okay? The world is Jupiter fixed energy and, Aquarius, Leo, Taurus, and Scorpio. It's a cycle you will not move from anytime soon because it's success and it's foundational. It's really, really good energy. So I'm almost thinking that one thing leads into another. This is sort of goal-oriented, very goal-oriented. Very goal-oriented. You have the moon here, which is Cancer energy. And with that Cancer energy, which is June and July, you will find it's very possible that a woman is going to be involved in your success. Could be anything, right? It could be somebody you're introduced to that's going to help you along. Could be advice that you get from someone. But there is a female figure involved in this somehow. Your letters here are S, L, U, and H. Keep these, definitely keep all the letters in this reading close by. Now you have soul, right, which is the sun. So your path is going to be illuminated to you. That's for sure. The sun is very happy energy, as we know. It's very, very bright energy. It's very clear energy. You're going to see exactly where you're supposed to be. And it's also Leo. And that timing is July and August. So when we look at these dates, right, we have Cancer, which is June and July. We have Leo, which is July and August. We have Virgo, which is August and September. We have Scorpio, which is October, November. We have Sagittarius, which is November, December. And we have Aquarius, which is January, February 2026. So to summarize, we also have Taurus, which is April and May. So to summarize, we have April and May that are possible for movement in this area, but we have June through February, and that means the second half of your year is going to be extremely busy with this situation, and it's going to blossom and grow and change. And listen, as long as it ends in the 10 of Pentacles, my world would be upside down too. I'd be like, nah, I'm not going anywhere. I'm staying right here. And that's exactly the kind of feeling that you're going to have in this situation. It does pay to mention that the sun is a Sunday planet. So the thing, and we say planet loosely, we know it's a star, but the day for the sun is Sunday. This is a Wednesday. So you're going to be looking at Sunday and Wednesday as very, very good days. I know Sunday seems unlikely, but I'm telling you, you may get word from a female figure on a Sunday. Keep that in mind. There is a level of achievement here that is really, really good, Pisces. It just is, okay? Now, for your third blessing, you do have the Two of Swords. Wow. A little bit different, right? The imagery on these cards. I really love these cards. My God, I'm really, really digging them. You have Venus and Libra energy, right? A difficult decision. But, right, we see, I don't know if you can see this, but you see the birds at this person's feet fighting. You see the sea behind them that's a little turbulent. You see the dark sky. It doesn't look exactly comfortable. It really doesn't. It doesn't look comfortable. It looks like there's a lot going on around this person, but they have a sack over their head. They have swords crossed in front of them, and they refuse to let it in. They block it out, and they can stay focused. This is like the gift of focus and the ability to stay tunnel visioned with your goal here. It is the ultimate gift of intuition as well, because your intuition's guiding you to block everything out except your goal. I do think you're going to be smart when it comes to this situation. You have here jealousy, and whatever is going on in your life here is evoking the jealousy of the people around you. And that's inevitable. I mean, think of any truly successful person you know, whether you know them firsthand or you just read about them. And how many haters do they have? They have haters because there's always jealous people. So for anyone to be jealous of you, that means that you are accomplishing something pretty big. You have the star, which backs this up, right? This is Aquarian energy, but more than that, it is a wish coming true. All right. You have the letters D, C, B, and J. Yeah, so let's look at your cards here. First card, I mean, this is perfect, right? What did I say? This person has a sack over their head. They have the swords crossed in front of them, and they are blocking things out. And here you have conflict around you that you are not involving yourself in. Not my circus, not my monkey, Saturn and Leo energy. You do not take part. You do not acknowledge the conflict that's going on around you. And you don't get dragged into anyone else's drama. You're focused. You're single-minded. You have here the King of Wands, which is a beautiful energy to follow that, because you're not involving yourself in anyone else's bullshit, but you're stepping into that king energy, right? That sun in Leo energy. Daring decisions, boldness, optimism, achievement, financial generosity, right? So it looks like you might be being very generous with people around you, or at least with something or someone around you. I'm really getting that. I don't always get that from the King of Wands, but I'm getting that this time. It's your generosity is stemming from success, okay? And this card backs that up as well. So you have here the Four of Pentacles in reverse. You're releasing something, and I think it's twofold here. You're releasing something completely and utterly that does not serve you. If it doesn't work, if it doesn't add to your joy, if it doesn't add to your success, you're getting rid of it. You have this releasing, and it could be it could be, it also could be a very generous energy, right? It backs that up. It backs up the King of Wands to where you're releasing your resources to something because you believe in it, because someone needs you. You're being generous with someone or something, okay? It is a release on many different levels. Yeah, really feeling that. Really feeling that. Now, as we look at your timing card, you have Pluto here. And man, Pluto is many things, right? Pluto is now in Aquarius. So you have that here, and the Pluto and Aquarius energy is probably working for you. I mean, it doesn't always work for everyone, but I think it's working for you, whoever chose this particular group. You have Pluto here, and that's obviously Scorpion energy, but it is death and rebirth. It is the complete demolishing of what was and the rebuilding with these pages, something new, something brand new and fresh. Beautiful energy, right? And also the day of Pluto is February 18th. And we did mention February as a possible really good date for you. February 18th could be very pivotal for you. Now you have, as far as dates go, you have January, February, which is Aquarius, and that's going into 2026. You have September, October, which is Libran energy. You have October, November, that's Scorpio energy. You have Leo energy, which is July, August, and you have Capricorn energy, which is December, January. However, it's like it's pushed together because it's between July and February. And I really think that you had this here too. So look to the second half of your year to make crazy strides, to make amazing leaps, to eliminate that which impedes you, and to build upon seriously that which is going to stay in your life for a very, very long time. Beautiful energy. I wish you the best birthday, and I will see you next time.